All right. Hello, hello, hello. Thanks for clicking on our faces, or at least not our faces, but Mark's face.
Mark!
All right, Mark. You got to think, Mark.
Mark.
But we're here back again to discuss Invincible, this time season 3 with no mid-season break, y'all. We getting the whole season all at once. So that's exciting. But it's been a while, but our usual kind of format here, we're going to go straight into a little bit of geek news, and then we're going to go into the show. This episode, we are actually discussing episodes 1 through 2, and we're going to hit you guys again tomorrow with the third because a lot happened. We want to make sure we do as much as we can. So, with that being said, straight into the first bit of geek news, and I'm going to hand it over to my co-hosts here. Just to make a couple introductions, we got Vibrator Vic right underneath. What's going on?
I forgot about that name. All about that name.
And we also have the great Grand Slam Poobah. How's it going?
Hi, it's been a while since we've done a show together, and I'm looking forward to talking about these first 2 episodes.
Mm-hmm. But before we get into that, you have to tell us something specifically. We got to tell the world because you met someone.
Yes. This was actually so cool. I put in, we have a group chat, and I shared it with you guys, and I just said, oh, this is so cool because we reviewed the Lois and Superman, or Superman and Lois show, and running into him at karaoke, and shout out to the executive consultant because I'm there with him, and I said, that's Superboy. I'm sorry, I don't remember Jordan. I said, that's Jordan. That's Jordan. He said, no, because he thinks he knows everything. And clearly he doesn't. I told him before, it's like you play Trouble. I play 3D chess. Please, you're embarrassing yourself. But I met him, and he was a lovely kid, a lovely young man. I even told him the truth and said, like, well, when we reviewed the show, you was bad-mouthing him.
Not me. Not you put it all on me.
Dropped it all on you.
Shout out to everyone who was watching us for Superman and Lois. It was very exciting, even just to hear that our co-host here met an actor from the show. It's very exciting. So shout out to Alex.
And real quick too, when I told him about and I told you guys this, when I told him we were kind of harsh on you, he said, yeah, I get it. He was actually a sport about it. He wasn't how dare you. He was quite the gentleman.
Very nice.
I'm sure he was. He's reading lines. He doesn't write the character. You know what I mean? I get that.
He did a great job. Yeah. He performed it very well. Never anything bad about his performance, just the character.
Yeah, the character. Yeah, we couldn't take it.
But let's get into a bit of other news. As you know, we're getting into heavy into Marvel movies, and
oh yeah,
they got some coming out very soon. So I got a couple clips. So let's get into the first. That's coming out February 14th.
Captain America.
Can we start?
Let's do it. How did he just do that?
You must be new.
Captain America.
Now, so like I said, this is coming out February 14th. And
next week.
Yeah. And I want to say when it was kind of originally, when the first trailer dropped, they were calling it Captain America Brave New World in all the marketing, right? It's still called that. That's still the name of the movie. However, I've noticed in marketing recently, they've taken to calling it Captain America 4. I don't know if you guys noticed
I didn't notice that. Yeah. I thought wasn't originally called Captain America New World Order? I thought it was like New World Order or something like that.
So many different name changes. Now, them calling it Captain America 4 now isn't the official name of the movie. However, I noticed within the marketing of the movie, they've changed it to Captain America 4. And I think it's kind of an attempt to kind of get like the naysayers and who kind of don't really want to link it with Steve Rogers, because it is kind of the continuation of the character Captain of America. Not even kind of, it is the continuation of Captain America. But a lot of people have that distinction between, it's not Steve Rogers. So I think they're trying to kind of embed that into people's brain. Like, no, this is still Captain America. It's Captain America 4. And I thought that was interesting.
I mean, it makes sense because I mean, Steve Rogers gave him the shield.
Yeah.
We saw that in Endgame, so like, why not call it Captain America 4?
And it's the continuation of the character.
Mhm.
Maybe the person.
I mean, not really, because it's emerging. Because Cap never really had because he's Falcon, so it's just Falcon with the Captain America, and he doesn't have.
We have a new Falcon in this movie. There's someone else taking up the mantle of Falcon, and of course we have our previous Falcon being Captain America now. And I thought it was interesting too because I saw this image where Anthony Mackie was discussing if his Captain America would have the super soldier serum because that's the thing for Steve Rogers. So just a quick quote from him. He says, Sam, just being a regular guy that's been thrust into this position of leadership is something that we all can identify with. So I think it's important for him not to get the serum. Yeah. How do you guys feel about that? Do you feel
I don't think he should. I don't think he should. No, I don't think he should. I mean, for one, okay, he's Captain America, but he's not Steve Rogers. I think you want to definitely differentiate these characters. You want to find a way to make them different. So no, I don't think he needs to be the guy with the serum and all that stuff.
I mean, like, look, War Machine is no Tony Stark, but he wears the suit,
right?
So like, yeah, let him. He doesn't need to. And mind you, the thing is, he probably doesn't want to live that long either.
Okay. Well,
I mean, I didn't think all that, but I love how Vic was like, yeah, maybe he just don't want to be 180,
But does the serum? Well, I'll say this: I'm a little disappointed knowing that he, at least maybe in this movie, he won't have the soldier serum. Only because I feel like that's what makes him super, right? That's what makes Captain America super. That's why he qualifies as a superhero, unlike Batman. Because he has powers, right?
Right.
So if this Captain America doesn't have the superpowers, he's not going to be as durable, right? He's not going to be able to do the stunts in the way that Captain Steve Rogers will be able to do them because he's not enhanced in any way. And he's still be enhanced being because we saw the Red Hulk in this movie. So it's like, how does that?
Right. I mean, I think it also too makes him look. I know we've chatted a lot, and you're like, I don't need my superheroes to be relatable. I just need them to just kick ass. So I totally get what you're saying, but I think too in this it makes it where so when Steve would get hit, right? Talking about Steve Rogers, he's able to take those blows. He's able to get up. He's like, yeah, he got a little damage, but I could do this all day. Sam might not be able to do this all day, but at least it gives like this peril. Like how would he get out of this situation? And as much as I dislike Batman, the one thing about Batman, I mean, it's really the fans that made me hate Batman, but the thing about Batman, he's always found a way to get out. And I think that's what makes him unique. And I think for the same thing with Sam, where it kind of makes him unique, where how is he? I mean, he's fighting the Hulk. If there's any of us, we're already dead. Closed casket, by the way. So, I think it makes it.
The thing with Batman is that Batman is really more of a detective. You know what I mean? Like at least his origin, he was more of a detective. He would outwit people and then just fight them. But then when it's just Batman, he's usually not fighting any soups or anybody that's enhanced. You know what I mean? A lot of times he's just fighting regular sinister people. Like the Penguin wasn't enhanced. The Joker wasn't enhanced. Like Two-Face, you know what I mean? Like none of those guys were. It was never. So I think it's just a different lane. To be honest,
it is. It's a different lane. And also too, I was going to say with the suit, because you was mentioning but he fought like Killer Croc and Bane. There's some really much stronger villains than Batman, but he always found a suit. And I'm thinking maybe with Sam, even though he's not super powered, maybe he can have something where he's like he might go to. I mean, in MCU, Tony's dead, right? But he might go to someone who can make a powerful suit to help him deal with battle, like Riri or something like that. So I think there's avenues for him, is what I'm trying to get at.
All right. There were some hints and also some speculation that he'll be using a bit of vibranium in his suit. But I guess we'll see. We'll see on the 14th. Also, next bit of news. Of course, we're on Marvel, so we recently got a trailer. I want to say it was like maybe yesterday or the day before of Fantastic Four. So let's take a peek at that.
Welcome to the Baxter Building.
We make a point to do family dinner. We're all here.
Yeah, I'll be the judge of that.
Couldn't turn invisible. It wasn't a rock.
Best looking, he means.
Johnny never caught fire.
And I am right here.
So, new trailer for the movie. I want to say it's dropping in July. I have to double check the actual like release date.
Same here.
But yeah, we're getting another Fantastic Four. Now, for me, I've never been a Fantastic Four girl. It's not my, comic book of choice or, comic book movie of choice. But how do you guys feel about having another Fantastic Four after these years?
You want to go first, Vibrating Vic?
I mean, I feel like they got to fill it. They started with what's it called? Doctor Strange.
Oh, the multiverse?
Yeah, they started with that, so now they just gotta fill it. Like they gotta do it. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that it will be interesting this time because also apparently Tony Stark is gonna be Doctor Doom. And
Okay.
Oh, not in the Fantastic Four.
No, but that he is a villain of the Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be just the beginning of it, and then they're just gonna start filling it in with all of the other movies. You know what I mean? Like I don't think it's gonna be attached to anything from before or anything like that. I think that the movies from before were just them trying to do the thing, but this one should be totally different, very good. Kind of like the Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Like where they just made a whole new Spider-Man, and then all of a sudden everybody was complaining, and then they had to bring all the 3 Spider-Men in. You know what I mean? I don't think they do that, but like I think they're just gonna go in a different direction here. Like it should be interesting because what's gonna happen is that people are gonna compare it to the past.
Yeah,
But
to the
the
older,
reality
maybe not so much like the
2015.
No,
Yeah,
because
whatever.
the other thing is just that like Captain America is what's Flame On guy? What's his name?
Johnny Storm?
Wasn't Johnny Five?
No, Johnny Storm. Johnny 5 is a robot, see?
No, snap! It is.
That's a freaking robot, see the superior.
Wait.
Someone clip.
Whoa.
You gotta clip that.
No, I wish I do have a clip, but that was my movie though. I've seen it, and it was so sad the way they was treating Johnny Five at the mall. Remember?
Yeah. Oh, you mean when the Thing and Mr. Fantastic stepped on him and threw him over the bridge? Yeah, I do.
Exactly,
I agree.
yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if we got a couple Johnny Fives walking around in the future.
But shout out to Silhouette Animator. Nice to see you. Thanks for showing out. Thanks for being here. And
Those are seeing you, my friend.
I'm going to pop this up right here because I'm not sure if you saw it.
Yeah, I met him.
Our very own met Jordan from Superman and Lois. But to bring it back to the Fantastic Four, there's been some criticism online about the comic book accuracy of the characters. Now, people have been saying that their newer 2025 is a little bit more comic book accurate, but the issue has been that because the 2005 one had more practical aesthetics, it looked more realistic, whereas our 2025 looks very highly, VFX and CGI.
I'm sorry, no, 2025 looks so disappointed.
CGI is less expensive than makeup.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I like what Silhouette is saying because I do see an accurate version of 2025. You're saying it's accurate but scary looking, and that's what the Thing is supposed to be, scary looking. So yeah. I kind of don't mind the appearance of the Thing. My only thing with this whole trailer, first off, I think the trailer is cool. I'm excited to go see it. not the biggest Fantastic Four fan, but it's something about this where I guess when you watch all these Marvel movies, you just stick with the norm, right? But my thing is, okay, they're in the 1960s. Why haven't they ever showed up? So I'm confused about that. So I'm interested in seeing how that plays out. And go ahead. What do you want to say, man?
It's an alternate timeline. 1960s. It's kind of like a futuristic kind of vibe. 1960s. So
okay,
it's not taking place in our same universe. It would seem.
Okay, maybe that's what that. Okay, that. All right, let's go with that. Another thing I did want to point this out that I really, really liked. Saw the first two Fantastic Four movies back in the day. Really didn't hate that cast. But the second one, Rise of the Silver Surfer, they had Galactus, and I was stoked about it. I said, "Oh, that's dope!" And it was nothing but pollution in the air. It was just nothing but dust. So I love that we actually see this giant figure. And I mean, they never showed a face, but that alone was enough for me to be like, I was like, oh man, you got me, Marvel, you got me.
But you know what? We also didn't see in this trailer. We had to clip it up, for reasons here on YouTube. But we don't see Reed Richards, his stretching ability at all in the trailer, if you notice. So I'm wondering if they're just kind of taking their time on the VFX there, because it seems maybe that's like a harder thing to get right. I don't know.
I was going to say, I think it's more of not showing too much, a lot, because sometimes movie trailers, they can show enough to make you kind of already have what the movie is. And I think they just wanted to show you the basic, like Johnny, because I don't even think the Invisible Woman turned invisible. I only saw the trailer once, but does she turn invisible? Because I don't think she does.
A little bit like
okay. Sort of. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's acting more like Jean Grey, like fields and stuff. So, well, we'll see.
They said they don't want the rubber hose look. Yeah, like Kamala Khan, the way she was looking at Miss Marvel.
Well, they did a good job though. Getting back to Doctor Strange real quick with that read, and he stretched. I thought it looked really good. No, okay. I thought it was decent.
We'll see what they do. But with that, let's get straight into Invincible, because we got 2 episodes to cover, guys. So we want to get into the nitty gritty. I was so excited to watch this again, guys. Even just like loaded up, I was like, oh yeah. So we get to episode 1, and we see Mark. He's training, right? He's trying to get big and strong under Cecil's tutelage. I can never say that word right.
The tutelage.
Yeah, tutelage.
The tutelage.
But they have him lifting up everything because, again, if we remember from last season, he got his ass kicked by another Ultramite. And
you're being generous about that. No, he got his ass kicked to the moon. Like literally, his ass went to the moon. That's how badly he got kicked. But carry on.
Facts. And he was like, "I'm never going to be that weak again." So he's training like Rocky out here, and they have him fight all sorts of things. And I thought that was interesting to kind of see like a little training montage. We get Cecil again. He's still calling the shots as usual. We get to see more of our characters from season 2. We got Rexplode, who's one of my favorite characters. By the way.
Oh, you too, right? Like, just real quick, because I know we're going to get through this episode, but I just want to talk about Rex a little bit. One of the things I liked about Rex, and I was thinking about this before the show started, I was like, yo, they found a great way to have a balance where you can see him growing, where he's taking things a little bit more serious. He's trying to be more considerate and stuff, but he still have that douchebag vibe, and I just love that about him. Like, It's just he's just hilarious, because even in that scene, he goes like, when they say, "Hey, Invincible, you want to go out and get these villains or whatever?" He's like, "Dude, I'm literally right here. Like, What are we doing?" And I just thought that was hilarious.
We got some updates here from Silhouette Animator. He says that this week, and there are 8 episodes, not 7. The 8th episode is held off on Amazon Prime for now due to massive spoilers. I noticed that too. I didn't know it was 8. I counted. I was like, oh, they only have 7. But that's good to know that there's another one. We get a bonus episode, guys. That's great.
I'm excited about it.
Well, that's a pretty interesting strategy. Okay.
Yeah, I guess, hey, make sure the leaks ain't coming out. I ain't mad at them. But they do, we got Rexplode and Invincible. They are in DC because there is someone or someone's in the process of trying to steal, I want to say, what is it? The
Glockmate, the Independence or something like that?
Yeah, Declaration of Independence.
Declaration, there we go. Yeah,
one of those very important founding father documents. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was funny, like later, later after a couple scenes later, when Mark is telling Duplicate about her brother. He's like, he's got to go to jail because he stole the Declaration of Independence. And you can
No,
hear,
because he killed. Yeah.
but you can hear what's his name? What's this guy's name? Immortal in the background.
Yeah.
Because remember before, I think he was like Abraham Lincoln or like the guy who shot Abraham Lincoln. Like remember when he first introduced? I thought that was like a hilarious callback. But we do see that Duplicate brother. What's his name? Help us out, Silhouette. You know that guy's name. Isn't it something
we'll call him Kenneth.
It's something to do with like copycat or something like that. Or,
yeah, it was like Copy Cow or something like that. I forget.
Yeah, maybe it was something like that. Let's see if Silhouette got the answer for us. Let us know, Silhouette. But he shows up with all of his duplicates and fight with our boy Rex Lowe. He's blaming him for the death of his sister. And of course, we know, but he doesn't know yet, that she's actually alive. Duplicate is alive. She shows up on the scene. Her and Immortal are in fact
Abraham Immortal.
I'm disgusted with.
Oh, it's Multipole. Thank you, Multipole.
Multipole, yes, I do.
You know what? That is like Multipole. Okay, I get the joke now. Okay. All right, good job. Thank you, Silhouette. That is actually pretty hilarious. Good job.
Yeah, but yeah, she shows up. He sees that she's alive, but he was still like, oh yeah, well, you still gotta pay towards Rex Explode, to the point that he was trying to sucker punch him. So our boy Invincible handled it,
decked him.
Yeah, carted him off to jail. But what I thought was interesting about this scene, the characters who were actually doing the heist, who were actually stealing the Declaration of Independence, they seem like they're not from this time period. And I'm wondering if they were someone from Angstorm. Remember Angstorm, who died last season, and how he had like multiple versions of him. I wonder if they are a part of that group, because they're definitely not from this timeline. And they ended up disappearing off of some like hoverboard in the sky. So I thought
some futuristic hoverboard. You know, it was interesting when I was going through X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, and I was trying to avoid spoilers because I just didn't want to know too much going into this. But someone mentioned something about, I forget what names that they called them, but it was like some kind of thing with mentioning that they are not in fact from this timeline. They're from another timeline. But I don't know if they have anything to do with I'm sorry, what was his name? The other guy.
Angstorm?
Yeah. I don't know if they have anything to do with him.
Okay, well, we're going to find out. We'll see. But this is my favorite character, guys, and I'll discuss why when we get into the next episode. But we got our boo Oliver here. What a cutie, right? Looking just like Mark. He's still having his like little not trainings, but he's still being nannied by the nanny that was selected by Cecil.
April.
Very advanced for his age, and he's already gotten his powers. So he's very excited to be, flying around, hoping to fly out with Invincible. However, we got Mama over here, Mama Debbie. She's not having it. She said, "Look, you're still young. You got to be a kid." But she kind of like concede and said, "Hey, okay, if you're honest, we can discuss possibly training you, right?" It was also during this time that we see a couple other characters when Mark heads back to our what do we call it? The Guardian hub.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. We see all of the other Guardians. We have Shrink Ray. She's back in action after being like almost, taken out last season.
Not for nothing. I thought it was hilarious because, right, she was almost taken out. And you know how everyone is like in a regular size stretcher? They put her in a shoebox. I just thought that was hilarious.
Power, the worst power.
Not for nothing, too. If I could say real quick here, this episode alone, she has said more than the last 2 seasons. This episode alone, like I almost said, "Oh my God, you could talk." I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
She's got a lot of opinions. We'll discuss it coming up, but she's got a lot of opinions. We have, of course, Black Samson is back. We have a lot of our core characters. We get to see William and his boyfriend Rick again. They're discussing with Mark what the older version of Adam Eve told Mark last season, pretty much saying, "Hey, tell her tell her or leave her be, pretty much. Either be with her or leave her alone, right? And so, of course, our boys who are smart, they're like, look, don't tell Adam Eve that. Look, don't go over there and telling her, like, yeah, your older version of you is still desperately in love with me. So what do you want to do about that? But because he doesn't listen, he goes to Adam Eve, to her crib, to her spot, asks her to be his girlfriend. At which point she agrees, but then she was like, then he started kind of linking in, oh yeah, because I didn't want to leave you hanging.
That was rough.
What did you guys think?
That was rough. Look, not for nothing. I credit
putting in your hands, like that's it. Just shut up and kiss her. Like,
he
what are
really
you
did.
doing? You know
Now,
what I mean? Like, how you?
I commend him for being honest, but like once you already had it, you didn't even have to say anything else.
You didn't have to say nothing. Like, keep
right.
That, you know what I mean? Like, come on.
The treehouse, yes. Yeah, when he did that, I said, ooh.
Yeah, he was doing too much. He could have just stopped it there. And honestly, I want to know how much time passed, because I feel like, didn't he just break up with Amber? Like, what?
No, sometime has been between them. I don't know how much, but there's been some time. Well, 3 months. 3 months.
But wait a minute. When you're a teenager, that's a long time.
I guess, but like for him to be like, oh yeah, that's my love. I was in love with her.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know. Yeah, but you don't know those emotions like that.
He's just like his daddy. That's all I'm saying. Just like his daddy.
Oh, we're gonna get to that later because he really was becoming his daddy in these last 2 episodes.
Yes.
You see the way he's killing? He is his daddy.
So we also have a villain, of course, of the episode. It's this character by the name of Dr. Seismic. He was originally in captivity. However, he has been like sitting out small little earthquakes and communicating with like this, land under, under the earth, these creatures there who abducted all of the superheroes in America, in the whole of the US, right? And this is interesting because we'll see again. Keep in mind, he abducted the superheroes, right? He puts them in these eggs. Yeah, odd things with the help of these
That's a nightmare.
Yeah, that's so gross.
That is, because that was a giant spider putting you in the egg like that. You literally, I know we did The Boys. Shout out to us because we did The Boys, and when we were seeing the spider guy and he was making web out his ass, I just knew right here and there. I just didn't like any of this. So seeing the spider actually doing that, webbing you with his ass. Not a fan.
That's how we get eggs.
So
I will not be having any more eggs.
This is my one criticism so far of the show.
Okay.
Is that a lot of their creatures are very kind of look the same. Like outside of like a few exceptions, like those aliens from last season that were taking over the mines and stuff, like the starfish kind of alien.
Okay, yeah. Uh-huh.
Every alien either is like a damn cyclops thing like this, or they're like some sort of like bug creature. And I'm like, I wish they would be a little bit more inventive with how they present their like aliens and monsters. But that's just a small criticism because I still very much enjoy the show. It's just something that I noticed. But of course, the only 2 superheroes that were left were Adam Eve and Mark, because they was up in the treehouse, right? They get the call from Cecil, who again has been, I'm not sure we discussed, but he's been made aware that our boo, Oliver, our little baby boo, has powers, and he shows up trying to convince mom.
I agree with Silhouette. He does look like a character from Doug.
Who?
The Silhouette put that, and that's why I chuckled earlier. I said that was damn good. He pretty much tried to say that the character looked like BB Bluff.
Oh no!
I watched Doug too.
That's her name. Yeah, that was a girl.
Yeah, BB Bluff.
Remember that?
Roger Clocks and BB Bluff had a kid, and that's what it came out to be.
No, Oliver slander. But Adam, Eve, and Mark come to this underground situation. They start fighting. They start losing. They ended up in the eggs too, right? It ain't looking good for nobody. But Cecil, of course, has a backup plan, right? He sends in a non-superhero.
No, don't do that. No, don't do that. He's Batman, but he goes into the shadows.
See, that's what I don't understand, right? So, is he a superhero or not? Because they said out of Cecil's own mouth, he said, "Oh, he's abducted every superhero except for two, right? Being Adam, Adam, Eve, and Mark." But if he can go in the shadow realm, ain't he a superhero, or does he not? Like, I don't.
No,
understand.
he is. I. You know what? I think they. I hear what you're saying. I think they only didn't count him because he was the backup in case Adam. I'm sorry, Eve and Invincible couldn't get the job done. Because I get what you're saying. You're saying it to us, and we're like, there's only two. And meanwhile, this guy's right there, literally in the shadows, waiting to be tagged in.
Going in the shadow realm. What the hell is going on here?
Yes.
And not only did they send him, but they sent these zombie-esque characters from, I think this was like season 1.
Yes.
And these are the creatures of D.A. Sinclair. He takes, bodies and reanimates them, which is very unethical, right?
And he did that to Mark's friend's boyfriend, Rick.
Yeah.
So So I thought this was interesting here.
Yeah, and so when they brought those zombie things back, even though I think it's an interesting concept, I'm like, dang, he got to relive his trauma right over there.
Yeah. Yeah, he don't look at that smile. How can you not like root for Rick? But real quick, I wanted to just mention the silhouette because he was saying that that's Invincible's version of Batman. Yes, and that was the psychic. I forgot what his name was as the psychic, but now he is the new Darkwing 2. And he was from episode 1 when the first Darkwing got massacred. I don't even think he spoke. I know he drew blood, but yes, that I just wanted to, because our main man is in the chat and wanted to make sure we got to answer his questions. There is a lot of lore, and we're trying to keep up with it as well because I know I never read the book, so this is all new to me.
Yeah, it's all new to me as well. Very exciting to kind of like learn along with what we're seeing in the show. But
I'm curious to see how accurate it is with the comic books.
Well,
it felt like Endgame.
I want to say real quick. So once again, never read the book, so I can only go where someone who has. And someone on Twitter said so far they have been faithful to the comics.
Really? Because this whole episode felt like Endgame, especially the little guy with the 2 Infinity Gauntlets.
I didn't see that guy. Yeah.
You know the guy that was playing with the Earth and he had the 2 gloves?
Oh, with the bracelets.
Okay. Like and then all of a sudden everybody was just showing up. Like I was just waiting for Cap to go Avengers.
What's funny? They even say he's probably the weakest villain of them all. But I forget what hero. Yeah, right. Like one of the heroes was like, matter of fact, Cecil. He said, "How does he even do this?"
Yeah,
but you know what? I noticed this, and it's something that we see at the beginning of next episode when we're about to get into.
Sure.
What's up with this narrative they're giving these villains now? He's talking about your capitalistic underbelly. He was like real anti-capitalism, anti-establishment.
I have to ask you guys real quick. When you was listening to The Voice, did you not think who's the guy who voices Joker? I think it's Hamilton. I'm sorry, I can't think of his actual name.
Yeah,
yes, didn't you think that was him?
I didn't pay that close attention to it. We could look it up, or Silhouette and let us know, Silhouette.
It's not, but it's not him. But I just wanted to say he sounded so much like him. I had to stop and look at who it was because I said, "There's no way that's him." Matter of fact, later I'm going to talk about a certain voice actor that I heard, and it blew my mind because I was not paying attention. But please carry on.
So when Mark sees, of course, that Cecil is working with Darkwing, who's a unaliver, and the zombie things from first season, he's upset, right? He's very much upset. He goes to confront Cecil. But before we get to that, we do get to see our boy Alan again. Alan's still kicking. He's over there hanging out with Omni-Man.
Nolan. There we go. Nolan. They're buddies in space.
It's like good cop, bad cop. They're learning each other. They tried to get rid of
who's the good cop?
We know is Alan Alien.
No, he's the idiot. But let's go on.
No, but they tried to get rid of him. The Viltrumites tried to get him out of here. They put a laser on him, but he's tough now, right? He's been through training. He's been eating his oats and his vegetables, and they can't take him out. Nolan was surprised. He was, thinking, hey, you're still alive. And of course, Alan took that as, oh, you're
You
worried
care?
about me. Yeah.
You care so much about me. Oh my God. I thought it was so great. Yeah.
It's
You do
very
see in
SpongeBob.
Omni-Man that we again saw a little bit of last season when suddenly he missed his wife after clapping alien cheeks for who knows how long. But okay, well, I digress.
I don't think it was long because the alien didn't last long either. So I don't know.
I want to make real about this, but after comparing his wife to a dog and clapping alien cheeks, now suddenly when you in prison, can't go nowhere. Now suddenly you miss your wife. Get out of here, sir. You had plenty of time. You had plenty of time to miss her, okay? But let's get into episode 2, because this is when we get some Cecil lore, guys. We get to figure out, okay, how did Cecil come out looking the way he looked, right? So we get into the episode. Cecil's fresh in the face, right? Young man. He's working.
Oh, stop it! He's not young. He's not young. Please, you just stop that, Cedar Superior. He's not what? Because he have a head full of hair. So did Bon Jovi. Eventually, his hair dropped too. Please,
he looks middle aged there.
He's young in comparison to what he looked like now. Let me
he's
remind
always he's oh, okay. Well, because they receding hairline.
Exactly.
He still look old there.
I mean, well, he always had a mullet. It's just there's no more. There's no more business in the front. That's all.
It's just party.
That's it.
Vic, I'm not gonna lie. Real quick before you finish, you could tell Vic is the oldest out of all of us because we said there's no business up there. I said, what are you even talking about, Vic? That was great.
When y'all was talking about Doug, like I know Doug, but not enough to know the damn characters. Y'all was listing them off like.
Oh, I love Doug. Doug was great.
Doug, Eddie Mayonnaise, and
Skeeter. The core 3. There was BB, there was Roger, there was Chalky, there was Pork Chop, Mr. Dink. God, there was a lot of them. There was this one guy.
He was the bad boy.
Roger, yeah. Well, he was bad because he wore the leather jacket. That gave you the clue.
But let's get back into this cartoon.
Yes.
About Doug
we
when
have,
I eat liver
of course,
and
a young, and a bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, if you will, Cecil.
Stop
working under this other director, the previous director of the GDA. He gets sent into this like everyday type of shop because it's some sort of tip that they got of some nefarious situations going there. He gets in there and he gets into a fight with these characters, right? And they are.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought these were wrestlers. I thought one of them was the Ultimate Warrior. I'm not even gonna hold you with the way he had the mask. Yeah, the guy with the skull and the open shirt. Is that the Ultimate Warrior with a mask?
So the name of these characters, they're called the Order of the Freeing Fist, right? And they do have this narrative of, civilization, humankind is bad, and we're here to reset this. Kind of sounding like what old boy Dr. Seidman was talking about a little bit. But they get in a fight with Cecil. And of course, they're crazy. So instead of, really fighting, they do fight for a while, but they decide to let out the toxic goo, fog, smoke, whatever it is.
That gas, yeah.
Gas. And sacrifice themselves for whatever cause that they're fighting for. And Cecil gets caught in the crossfires. He's trying to protect everyone. He closes the door, but unfortunately, he gets the smog on him, and he loses his skin.
Yeah, it was, and honestly, this was a gruesome thing. I mean, we've been watching some gruesome stuff from Squid Games and watching The Boys and stuff, but I mean, just seeing that gas and it's ripping his face. You see his eye turn red, and you can see the inside of his skin. I said, "Ugh."
Hold on, I gotta pull it up. Roger was Macklemore. He looked just like him for sure. But yeah, it was very graphic, and that's kind of like. I like my Invincible 4. I like a good, I like that it's giving us the ick a little bit sometimes.
I think they saw The Boys and they said, "Hold our beer."
No, didn't Invincible come out before The Boys?
I don't know. I mean, maybe TV wise, maybe. TV wise, maybe, but I don't know about because wasn't The Boys a book? I mean, a comic.
But so is Invincible.
Right, but I don't know which one came first.
No, but aren't there more seasons of The Boys? I feel like the boys has been
Because
around.
it's cartoons, it's animation, it takes longer.
Yeah, I was gonna say that might take a little longer. I think if you're talking about in general between both of them, I do think because Invincible came out in 2004, so I don't know when the boys came out.
The boys.
Oh, wait,
okay, so
fact checker, Silhouette animator in the chat. 2 years.
Silhouette.
Boy.
No, Silhouette. We gotta give this man. We gotta give him his flowers because you know what? We be up here struggling. And he be like, "Hold on, I got the facts. Please, just talk about the show. I have the facts."
Give him a link. That's what we got.
Okay, so the show came out after. The show came out after, but the comic book came out. The comic book, The Boys, came out after Invincible comics. Okay, so
I wonder what year was that Silhouette, because I know Invincible came. Oh, you said 2 years, so that means 2006 then, right? Okay, I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. My bad.
But very interesting, very interesting. Okay, The Boys 2019, Invincible 2021. As far as
they said we beat you this time.
right, you maybe got the comic book first, but we got to the TV.
Take that, Invincible.
But again, it could be because of the animation. Animation takes a long.
No, I believe that. No, I do believe that. I believe that takes a lot of time and stuff.
Because from last season to this season, there's a bunch of shit I forgot until I started getting into it. You know what I mean? But it kind of makes me feel like watching it back though, because the old Eve, I forgot all about that.
Oh, with her little,
with her bob. Yeah, I forgot all about that.
It's a good time to rewatch it. And we also see that Cecil has Mark in, the white space where his pops a little kind of muted. And he brought him there because, again, Mark came to confront him as to why he's working with, these individuals like,
Sinclair.
D.A. Sinclair and
Darkwing.
Thank you. And this whole scene kind of left a bad taste in my mouth.
You too. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. No, go. Yes.
Because he's telling Mark that he's being threatened by Mark. Mark didn't threaten him at all, at least not initially. And I feel like Mark's threats only came after Cecil was having him attacked by all of these, little zombie situations. So who's really threatening who, sir? And I feel like
Cecil, you mean Cecil? You wasn't feeling Cecil, okay? You said Mark.
I wasn't feeling Cecil. I thought Mark was, he was passionate, but he wasn't threatening. He was asking him, hey, why are we working with these individuals? They're murderers. They're,
But you know what? Not for nothing. I thought Cecil brought up a really good thing. He said he's trying to rehabilitate him. I'm not gonna sit here and say, well, these guys kill people, give them, all that stuff. All I'm saying is he mentioned to Mark, he says, you're saying this, but you're protecting your murdering father. And I thought that was a fair point. No?
But no, he's not really protecting his murdering father, I don't think. As far as I can remember from the
he's saying it, and he even asked him.
Worried about things that hit home.
But
it did, go ahead.
The thing is, Cecil is the director. He's supposed to know how and be trained on how to de-escalate a situation. All he did in this whole scene was escalate the situation. He didn't really explain things to Mark. He literally just walked him in the room as a trap and then, let these damn things loose on him, right? And then after he fought him, he puts the daggone, zappy high.
Oh yeah, he had the red. Yeah. Now there was. I
found out he even had it. Lord knows how long that shit has been in there.
He said that was in there.
Atlantis, he said, from season 2.
Yeah. So the thing is that Cecil is basically Nick Fury. Like he's in a position where he has to control everything, no matter what. And like everything, and whether it's good or it's bad, he has to be in control in order to save the planet or whatever.
Well, you know what I think was so interesting about this lore that we were getting of Cecil is that, so one of the things I kind of got out of like the relationship between Cecil and Mark for a while was like he likes Mark. He might not be affectionate and give like a hug and stuff, but you could kind of tell he likes Mark. And when I was seeing this lore, I was getting the like Cecil was once Mark, where like they showed this thing where who were the Iron Fist crew that you was talking about earlier? See,
the freeing fist.
Thank you. And they were and Cecil was helping out the previous director, and the director was telling them like, they've been rehabilitated on our side now. And what did Cecil do? Shoot him. And I know I felt like while Cecil wasn't always explaining stuff, he was trying to just say, "Go home, don't make a mistake," because he's done that. And yeah, mhm.
No, he did tell him to go home, and then when Mark flies off to go home, what did he do? He put the damn zappy thing on his ear, and he makes him fall from the sky. It's like, what do you want him to do, Brad? Like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. So I feel like Cecil, as the director, should have had the forethought and the training to be able to de-escalate the situation, and all he did was make it worse. And when Mark actually ended up flying to the Guardians of the Globe, begging for their help, he's like, "Robot, take this thing out of me." He's literally.
I would beg that too. That thing was killing him.
Yes. So I have a clip here, guys. Let's roll that beautiful beam footage here.
What the actual? This doesn't concern you.
Hell, it doesn't.
All of you sit the down. This.
So this is why I
I'm sorry. Shout out to you, because not only did you get the clip, the censorship was fantastic.
was cutting it out.
Because there was a lot of F words in there. Yes, and we're not talking about fish.
Every other word was an F-bomb. I was like, golly, Invincible, okay. Want to use it all in one place. So another. This is when I was thinking, oh, robot. And the team, they ready to go. They was like, look, just give us a reason, right? Because as soon as they saw Mark was getting, messed up, they was suiting up. They was ready to take on Steel. And I said, oh, this is such a great scene. This is probably
that was so cool.
Scenes. What do you think?
I mean, that whole thing felt like Captain America: Civil War, where where they all of a sudden take a side, because like they're all trying to do good things, and then all of a sudden Cecil is just trying to take control, which I kind of understand in a way. And then I understand why the old black dude ended up sticking around.
Black
Samson,
yeah, and because he kind of gets it. And the other Omni Man, what's his name?
Immortal.
Like he gets it too.
Gets it, or I don't know if it's gets it. It felt like very much the old guard. Like
the old guard. That's what I'm saying. Like they understand where Cecil's coming from, and I think the beginning of this episode pretty much shows you, because it shows you a young idealistic Cecil that ends up shooting the superheroes when they come back. You know what I mean? Because he doesn't want to work with criminals and things like that. But then Cecil's going around just, basically they tell Cecil, listen, you're just too naive. And all of the other people are just way too naive and idealistic about the whole situation. So like, and mind you, Mark is in that same boat. Like he's like, yo, I don't want to work with this one. I don't want to work with that one. How is it that you could save this? How could you do that? I mean, but like they have function. You know what I mean? Like Cecil can do things to keep everybody in line. And he's learned that. He's learned that from his own experience. And that's exactly what he's doing. And mind you, that little bug that was in Mark's head, that shows a lot. I wouldn't be surprised if Mark and Cecil end up working together again, because
I think they are.
I'm sure. Yeah,
but ain't no way. Now ain't no way you about to like sneakily put in a bomb in my head, basically.
No, but that also goes to show you why.
And that's why I feel like I would align more with
Mark.
Our split here. This is how it kind of split up. We got our characters here. They were saying that they're done with working with Cecil if he, treats them like, as if they're disposable. And we have our other team who are loyal to Cecil. They're saying, hey, this is done.
Hold on. You see the stretchy dude? The alien?
Yeah.
So let me tell you why he's officially have become my favorite character. That is the voice of Sonic the Hedgehog from the movies. I couldn't believe it. It really took me watching it back, and I said, he sounds way too familiar. And then I had to look up who's in the scene and who's doing the voice, but it is Ben Schwartz. I'm hoping I'm saying his name right. But that is, yes, thank you, Ben Schwartz. I'm hoping I'm saying that name correct. But because he has such a familiar voice, and I said that sounds like Sonic. That is Sonic. So yes, I was super stoked. And anything that happens to the alien from now on, if something bad happens to him, I will not watch the show.
Well, he's on Cecil's side, so it's very, very likely that's something.
Yeah, okay. He is. And also the silhouette. You say he'd be a great Plastic Man. No, I agree. I thought you were saying he is Plastic Man, but yes, absolutely. But yeah, I thought that was so cool. But I did like this, and I do like this Civil War thing going on here. I mean, it's interesting on seeing how this is all going to play out, and now they have what's his name, Darkwing on talking about Cecil's side. I'm just interested in seeing, because I think there's a lot of characters that didn't get an opportunity in the last seasons. Like we got one episode of Darkwing, so I'm interested in seeing how what goes on with him. You was mentioning earlier too, because I'm interested in you picking up on this spot, but you talked about Shrink Ray. You know, we talked about before. She had no lines, but she was very opinionated in this episode and talking a lot more.
Because Kate want to bring in and play like the oppression Olympics sort of talk. Oh, I had it so bad. You know, I had it worse than anyone. And then Shrink Ray was like, hold on, girl, you got multiple lives, ma'am. You're not playing the same game as us. You can head back to go with your health. And I said, yeah, that's a good ass point. Like, you ain't out here risking your lives like we risking our lives out here, ma'am.
Yeah.
Right.
She should have said I was the one with a breathing mask and a shoebox, not you. Please. I'm sorry. I'm going to bring that up every time. I said they didn't have to do that to her. They could have put her on a big ass bed.
And then not only that, meanwhile, when everyone's back in action, training in the hospital, recovering, her ass is on the beach getting married. And I'm like, ma'am, don't even act like you on the same. It's not the same. No, and Monster Girl was really holding it down for Mark, because we got Immortal, who is honestly, I still feel as if he's treating Mark badly because of the jealousy that he feels from Man, always being kind of the second best superhero.
Pretty much how Shazam would feel if that was really Superman. Yeah.
He's still salty over his father. And I think that he I wouldn't be surprised if he's happy that Cecil has that thing in his head.
Oh yeah.
The only way that you can control him. Like, I think they're all scared of him. And the robot guy, he said something very interesting.
Oh yeah.
He was just like, listen, Invincible is the most powerful out of all of us.
Yeah.
I mean, he was bullshitting so that he could be with his girl.
Yeah.
But he's right.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be setting up for something.
Yeah.
Because why would he say that? Like,
knows that. Anybody knows that?
No, not that. No, the part, like, I think that is a low-key setting up for something. Like, yes, I agree totally what you're saying. He did that so he could be with his 6-year-old girlfriend. And now, but him saying out loud, like, yo, maybe team up. It wasn't that funny, see. But I think it's going to be a setup for something. That's all I'm going to get at.
I think, because I said in the chat, Robot, regardless of anything, he is gunning for Cecil. I said it once, I'll say it again, because he can take Cecil's spot low key. He's smart, right? Yeah. There's nothing that Cecil can do that Robot can't do. What he can't do is be as strong as Invincible. So he's going to align himself with somebody who offers something that he can't bring, right? So I'm like, okay, it makes sense. So I feel like Cecil better watch out, not from Mark.
Oh my Lord, this scene right here. Yeah. I don't think so. It's been a minute since watching all these episodes, but this is like the first time Cecil has ever been like grabbed or touched, right? Like, I don't think he's
outside ever been. Didn't Omni-Man put them hands on him, or am I tripping, or no?
Help us out here, Silhouette. Did he? I feel like he tried to attack him, but kept
around and he couldn't catch him.
Yeah, he kept zipping around. But this is the first time, and even him grabbing him and sitting there saying, "You come near me or my family, I'll kill you," which is so not Mark. And even like a little bit before that, I know you eating this up because you a Red Hood girl, so I already know. But him just killing. And did anyone else feel like watching him kill people? Just like, this is so not Mark. I mean, I know he killed in the last season, but you could tell it was by accident. This was intent. He was out here like wiping these monster things. Yeah.
No, he was like that majority of the last season. But remember in that last episode when he was fighting Viltrumites, and his dad told him, like, look, you got to fight like a Viltrumite because they are going to kill you. So you got to kill back, right? And that's when he was, out here doing it. And he kept that lesson. And good for him. And a thing that I liked about yes, the thing that I liked
You know
about
what?
this show too, because it keeps within its own,
Mhm.
it makes sense what they do as far as visually as well. Because when we see the other characters, they're fighting these zombie like creatures, and none of them are able to slice them up in one go. None of them are able to punch through them. But we see when Invincible finally gets that bug out of his ear, he's like you said, slicing through them easy. So we see that there is that definite power scale difference, and it's consistent in the show, and that's what I like. But he did threaten Cecil. He said, "Come next to my family again, and it's going to be a problem, right?" And
With the bloody nose.
You know what though?
Yeah.
But you notice how he says his family, right? Because he grew up really fast.
Mhm.
He's basically a quote unquote father, right? Though you could see the way that he talks to his mother now, the way that they talk about his little brother. Like he's like quote
He's the
unquote
man of the house.
precisely.
Mhm.
Out of nowhere. But at the same time, what is he, 19?
Yeah,
I think it's like 20 or something like that.
Like
I think she said he's 19.
Okay.
Like,
Oh, that
like-
makes sense. Yeah.
Some of my
All right,
pictures
but
get
like-
uploaded. Now I'm upset.
we're all post 30, right? So
Yeah.
we can
Okay, you didn't have to do all that, Vic.
we can remember what it's like to be young 20s and how emotional that is, right?
I
So
cried all the time.
this
But
guy,
he comes home to his mom to tell him, along with Adam. I'm mixing several pictures. Where are my pictures at?
I don't
I'm
know
at it.
why.
So
I mean, look, and just look how emotional they are. You know what I mean? Especially that conversation he had with Adam Eve. Look how insecure he was with his words. He was being like David, like a young 20-year-old. You know what I'm saying?
before we even get there, we're in the kitchen, and Mark beat up, telling his mom like, "Yeah, well, Cecil, I told him he better leave us the hell alone, right?" But mom is mad. He's telling as Mark's going further into what happened, he told her that he didn't kill him, he just threatened him. And here go my boy. My
This
boy
is your-
Oliver
this-
got that dog in him. Hold on, I
I
gotta
can fight.
That's
I
you.
kick his ass.
I told Cecil if he goes near you or Oliver, I kill him.
But why didn't you kill him already? Then you wouldn't have to worry.
Yeah, yes, Oliver, that's the question.
Now, here's the thing. That's scary. Why is that scary? Because because the kid is gonna grow up faster than Invincible.
Yes.
Like by the next couple of episodes, he'll probably be a teenager already.
Mhm.
He's already flying, and Invincible started flying at 17. And mind you, his mother only lived for about a year. She had like the lifespan of a bee.
Cecil
So-
threatened the family. Cecil
probably-
threatened the family. He put a bomb in Mark's head. He gotta go. I'm sorry. Oliver had it right. He should have got rid of Cecil, because Cecil ain't about to let nothing slide. He's not about to be like, all right, yeah, let me leave him alone. Y'all know he ain't about to do that.
I wouldn't be surprised if Oliver kills Cecil.
Because
yo,
I
like,
feel like it's gonna be robot, but Oliver will.
I can fight him. I kick his ass.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Can we talk about how Debbie is a terrible mother by ignoring her kid flying in the air saying, I kick his ass? Terrible.
No, she was all through the episode. She was telling him, "Hey, don't use your powers. Like, the secret." She even was trying to pat him up with makeup so he can go to the zoo. Debbie is a hell of a mom. She had that little spell for a little bit, but she got past that.
Not for nothing. Someone was mentioning, I know we don't have the picture, but when you mentioned the padded up stuff, someone said, "Okay, Jason Todd." They were looking at him, calling him Jason Todd. I thought that was hilarious.
We're on episode 2, Silhouette Animator. Our title is, I should have updated. We're only going to the first 2 episodes because there was so much that happened. We don't have enough time to go into all 3 tonight, but we will be discussing the 3rd episode tomorrow night. So if you're enjoying watching us tonight, leave us a like and join us tomorrow night for episode 3. Episode 3. But what else happened in this episode here, guys?
I mean, let's talk about Mark and Eve. Mark and Eve. Yeah,
Mark and Eve have a little moments on the rooftop where Mark apologizes for coming at her the way he did, and she says, well, no, it's not so much what she said. It's more about her kind of feeling pathetic for her future self, saying, yeah, after like 20 years, she's still like hung up on, what could have been, and it was embarrassing for her. And when Mark mentioned his relationship with Amber and how he did, he loved Amber, but what he felt for Eve since he first met her never really truly went away.
Right.
And Eve is of course a little,
Conflicted,
yes. And she's not sure if he's really feeling enough to justify being in a relationship. She's like, well, you have to be sure if feeling a crush isn't strong enough for me to make this make sense for me, right?
That's for me.
So she was kind of like, yeah, I don't think it's the best idea for us to be together until, we'll work together. We're friends, but we maybe shouldn't be together right now. And I thought that was a very mature decision to come to. And
She's usually pretty. I was gonna say the thing with Adam Eve is she's always been pretty level-headed. You know, like she doesn't really just think with her. At least I don't remember too many times she thought with her emotion. So yeah, no, I agree. That was mature.
Yeah, and she also mentioned, I'm not sure if we got a chance to say this earlier, but she did say that she's going to school to learn how to be an architect, because that was a criticism that she's got from the last, well, not the last season, but from her, little spin-off thing where she had that whole incident with the structure she was making kind of being unstable.
Oh, that was last season. You're talking about the one in Chicago, right?
Yeah, was that last season or was that with her?
That was last season.
Oh, I thought her little movie thing.
I mean, that's good, because the other thing is, like I was mentioning earlier, she was young and thinking that she knew everything, and now she's gonna go to school and she's gonna have powers, and she's probably gonna outshine the whole class.
Yeah, because she's always been really gifted as far as smart. So,
but
That's
like
true.
but I mean, it's different to be smart in high school than to be smart in college. You know what I mean? So she's gonna go. She's gonna go learn what she got to learn in order to do the things that she's got to do. You know what I mean? Because I still think they're very young. I mean, mind you, that whole thing about the 40-year-old her was interesting because, I mean, like, look, I could think back 20 years and remember people that I had strong feelings for and how I felt, and that dodged the fucking bullet. But still, like. Still, you know what I mean? I could just remember how strong the emotions were. You know what I'm saying? At that age.
That's her future self was feeling it too. She felt them strong emotions. She tried to want to. But just to wrap things up, a couple of events that happened in the episode. We see Debbie's out here on a date with Paul. I think his name was. This is the real estate agent from season 2.
Debbie, drop him.
Yeah,
drop him. Drop him.
She want to come crawling back to Omni-Man when he want to show up from prison? No.
I mean, first off, I mean, he makes the terrible pun. Yeah, look at that manly mustache. First of all, he makes this terrible joke. I know it's not Paris, but they make their own spaghetti. No, I would have got up and said, absolutely not, sir. And also, too, look at this style. Look at the hair. The turtleneck is off. What is that little part in his hair? Was he trying to act like he's like 25? No, please.
She needs her.
Debbie, get rid of him.
She needs her a nice man.
She does.
He's not even entertaining. He makes bad jokes. He's not. He wasn't engaging. Oh my God! You kidding me?
Wait a minute.
Honestly, what did she see in Omni-Man besides his body and what? Because they didn't seem like they had that much chemistry in my.
I mean, it was really the body. It was totally the body. What does this guy have? It was the body. I'm ready to go for him.
Season 1, Omni-Man was a flirt, bro.
Yeah.
Well, anyone with a mustache would be.
He was flirting.
Thank you, Fancy.
He was going in. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think he was really a flirt, though. I mean,
he's a smooth one. You see how he got with Oliver Mama, the alien, after 3 seconds. He's a smooth talker, right?
He is.
I mean, aliens don't really know a lot.
He got to get
never
the
felt any chemistry on screen with Debbie and him. It's like, what is?
Listen, Debbie deserves a lovely guy, because Debbie is really the MVP, because she is a sweetheart of a person, but not two cheeks here, please.
No, but this guy, he helped her become an agent. Like he helped her out, and like his
eyebrows are uneven.
His intentions are good as well.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah,
she's completely, and her guard is up, and his intentions are good, and she clearly likes spending time with him. So I think it's good for her.
Definitely growing. So I'm feeling this relationship. But also,
not you shipping them.
I am shipping them very much so.
Yeah, I hope over the sea.
No.
That was great. Thank you.
But we do see Cecil on its first day as the director back in the day, right? And meeting Omni-Man for the first time, where of course Omni-Man lies and saying that he's there for the greater good to protect Earth. So that was pretty much what happened in that second episode of season 3. So overall, I am really enjoying these episodes. I haven't watched episode 3 yet, but I'm excited to do so. Out of the 2 episodes that I've seen so far, 2 is probably my favorite. What about you guys?
2 picked up so much for me that made me go like, oh man, I gotta watch these 2 episodes over again for the review. I'm in midway through episode 3. Well, not midway, but I've just started episode 3. But these episodes have been fun. I mean, not for nothing. I was excited that we were going to review the show and these episodes, and I was like, oh, we back. So yeah, episode 2 is I'm really feeling it, and real quick, I wanted to talk a little bit more about Cecil because I just thought it was amazing. I know we kind of summed it all up, but I thought the scene where he's imprisoned and having this cell be so calm and collected before he become the director, I thought that was actually really, really cool and showed that he is able, because you were talking about something like he should know how to diffuse stuff. I think he knows how to do these things, but he also has a what do you call it?
Just forget in the moment, like what?
No, I think he have contingency. I'm saying it all wrong, but he has a backup plan in case stuff don't go wrong. I mean, don't go right. So I think we have to see how each episode goes further. But season 3 so far, these first 2 episodes, I am thumbs up.
All right, thumbs up. And if you're watching us, don't forget to leave us a thumbs up and join us tomorrow night.
Oh wait! Should we talk about this kiss that Mark and Eve had real quick?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I don't.
Just trying to help you up. Just trying to help out.
Mark and Eve, they decide at the very end to give it a shot, right? To give this little romance situation a try, and they are together, right? They kiss. They are a thing. So we'll see how that progresses.
Yeah, we're gonna call him Mark Eve.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Eve Mark, we'll figure it out. Yeah,
I think it's smart. I like it.
Mark Eve.
All right. Well, join us tomorrow. Join us tomorrow for episode 3. Are we doing 8:00, guys? 8:00 EST.
We could do 8:00 if you guys are down for that.
All right. You heard it here first. 8:00.
We could do 8:00
tomorrow night. Join us for episode 3, and thank you guys for being here. And goodbye.